What if everything you thought you knew about African history was wrong? What if entire civilizations have been deliberately erased from the record, their achievements minimized, their stories suppressed? Today, we embark on a journey to uncover Africa's hidden mysteries, to explore the untold stories of forgotten empires and challenge the narratives that have dominated for far too long. We begin in present-day Nigeria, with a story of brazen theft and cultural destruction. The Benin bronzes, thousands of intricate brass plaques, ivory carvings, and royal regalia were not mere artworks. They were a living archive, a historical record of the Kingdom of Benin, meticulously documenting the reigns of kings, the court hierarchy, military victories, and ritual authority. In February 1897, a British punitive expedition descended upon Benin City, looting and burning, carrying away these invaluable treasures. Today, they sit in museums across Europe and North America, silent witnesses to a history ripped apart. But the story of the Benin bronzes is not just about theft, it's about the destruction of memory, the deliberate erasure of a people's past. The return of these bronzes is not just about restitution, it's about reclaiming a stolen heritage, rewriting a distorted history. Now, let's cross continents to Ipswich, England, where a seemingly ordinary archaeological dig unearthed an extraordinary secret. The remains of an African man, dating back to between 1190 and 1300 AD. Scientific analysis revealed that he likely came from northern Africa, possibly southern Europe. This discovery challenges the long-held assumption that African presence in Europe was limited to the early modern period and the era of the slave trade. It suggests a deeper, more complex history of migration and interaction, a medieval world far more interconnected than we often imagine. This man was not an anomaly. He was buried with respect, integrated into the local community, a testament to the presence of Africans in medieval Britain, connected through trade, pilgrimage, and the movement of people across the Mediterranean. Our journey takes us next to southeastern Zimbabwe, to the majestic ruins of Great Zimbabwe. These massive dry stone walls, some soaring over 10 meters high, stand as a testament to the ingenuity and skill of the African peoples who built them between the 11th and 15th centuries. But for decades, colonial-era writers and historians refused to believe that Africans could have created such an impressive structure. They attributed it to Phoenicians, Arabs, even biblical figures, clinging to racist theories that denied African achievement. The name itself, Zimbabwe, comes from Shona expressions meaning stone houses or revered stone structures. Great Zimbabwe was a thriving city, home to thousands, a center of trade and power. Its existence shatters the myth of a continent devoid of civilization, challenging us to reevaluate the narratives we have been taught. Continuing our exploration, we travel to Ethiopia and Eritrea, the heartland of the ancient kingdom of Aksum. From the 1st to the 7th centuries AD, Aksum was a major trade empire, a powerful state with its own coinage, monumental stele, and a sophisticated culture. In the 4th century AD, under King Izona, Aksum embraced Christianity, becoming one of the first Christian kingdoms in the world. Aksum's strategic location on the Red Sea and its extensive trade networks connected it to the wider world, making it a vital hub of commerce and culture. Its legacy endures in the towering obelisks that still stand, testaments to its power and sophistication. Let's journey now to the Mali Empire, to the reign of Mansa Musa, who ruled from roughly 1312 to 1337. Mansa Musa's pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324 became legendary, his immense wealth, especially gold, captivating the world. But Mansa Musa was not just a wealthy ruler, he was a patron of learning, transforming Timbuktu into a center of scholarship, a beacon of Islamic learning with its renowned universities and vast collection of manuscripts. Timbuktu was not only a trading city. It had a manuscript tradition covering law, astronomy, medicine, theology, poetry, and mathematics. Tens of thousands of manuscripts survive, with estimates often ranging into the hundreds of thousands when private collections are included. These manuscripts offer a glimpse into the intellectual life of medieval Africa, challenging the notion that the continent was isolated from the world of knowledge. Now, let's remember Queen Nzinga, born in 1583, died in 1663. She ruled Ndongo and later Matamba, in present-day Angola. A brilliant military strategist and diplomat, Nzinga fiercely resisted Portuguese expansion and the slave trade for decades. She forged alliances, led armies, and defied the might of the Portuguese Empire, becoming a symbol of resistance and a beacon of hope for her people. Queen Nzinga's story is one of courage, resilience, and unwavering determination, a testament to the power of the human spirit in the face of oppression. Let's move into the shadows of the Source civilization. The Source civilization flourished around the Lake Chad Basin, in present-day Chad, Nigeria, Cameroon, and Niger, from roughly the 6th century BC to the 15th century AD. They left behind a rich legacy of terracotta figurines, metal artifacts, and fortified settlements. Their society was sophisticated, their craftsmanship remarkable. Yet, their language and exact political organization remain unknown, shrouded in mystery. The Source are known mainly through archaeology and oral memory. They left terracotta sculptures, burial remains, metal artifacts, fortified settlement evidence. But no deciphered written corpus survives, which is why they remain mysterious. Finally, we travel to southern Namibia, to the Apollo 11 cave, where in 1969, archaeologists discovered some of the oldest non-portable art in southern Africa. These painted stones, dating back around 26,000 years, depict animals and human figures, offering a glimpse into the artistic and spiritual lives of our ancestors. The Apollo 11 cave art reminds us that Africa is not just the cradle of humanity, but also the cradle of art and culture, a place where creativity and innovation have flourished for millennia. The story of ancient African Christianity adds another compelling chapter to this narrative. Christian communities existed in Africa long before European colonialism. Ethiopia, Egypt, and part of Nubia had long Christian histories. In Ethiopia, Christianity became the state religion in the 4th century AD. These examples challenge the notion that Christianity was solely a European import, revealing its deep roots in African soil. These stories, these fragments of a forgotten past, challenge the old racial myths that have long dominated our understanding of Africa. They reveal a continent that was not isolated, but globally connected, linked to the Mediterranean, the Red Sea, the Indian Ocean, the Islamic world, and medieval Europe. They expose the ways in which history can be erased, through looting, censorship, biased scholarship, and the destruction of archives. But most importantly, they reshape modern identity and heritage claims, fueling debates about restitution, museum ethics, school curricula, and national pride. The return of the Benin bronzes, the preservation of Great Zimbabwe, the study of Timbuktu's manuscripts, all are vital steps in reclaiming a stolen past and building a more just and equitable future. As we conclude our journey, let us remember that the greatest mystery of African history is not the absence of evidence, but the deliberate suppression of it. By uncovering these lost civilizations, by amplifying the voices that have been silenced, we can begin to rewrite the narrative, to create a more accurate and complete understanding of Africa's rich and complex past, and its enduring legacy for the world. The great mystery is often a colonial mystery, not an African one. In many cases, the mystery exists because records were destroyed, oral traditions were dismissed, excavation was underfunded, and colonial narratives ignored African authorship. Colonial denial of African authorship is the biggest recurring suppression. Great Zimbabwe was falsely attributed to non-Africans for decades. African metallurgy, urbanism, and statecraft were minimized in European scholarship, and African Christian, Islamic, and manuscript traditions were often treated as exceptions instead of central history. The Benin bronzes were removed under military force, but for years were presented in museums as legitimate acquisitions. Evidence of Africans in medieval Europe is often treated as surprising, even though the evidence is real and growing. Some historians once treated oral tradition as unreliable. In many African contexts, oral history is a treasure trove of information, passed down through generations, preserving knowledge and traditions that would otherwise be lost. The Source are known mainly through archaeology and oral memory. They left terracotta sculptures, burial remains, metal artifacts, fortified settlement evidence, but no deciphered written corpus survives, which is why they remain mysterious. This is why rewriting history to accurately reflect Africa's true story is so important.